Am I recording? Hello, against me, Chaz, back with another video. Back with a World Cup qualifying video. It's been quite some time. I haven't done any of these videos since November of last year. But international break is back, and the AFC, CONMEBOL, OFC are all back with their World Cup qualifying campaigns, as well as the CAF. So I'll be making videos on the CAF's World Cup qualifying campaign, which is the African region, and the UEFA, which is the European region. I'll be doing World Cup qualifying videos on them as well. So, very busy month for me. And I thought last month was busy. I'm going to continue releasing the new batch videos as well, which is my 1934 Italy World Cup videos, all 16 nations that competed at the 1934 World Cup. I do a short video, or try to make it short, and discuss how well those nations did at the World Cup. I'm going to drop those videos as well. Again, they're similar to my original 13 World Cup videos, which are based on the 13 nations that competed at the first World Cup. So I'm going to continue releasing them as well. I should also mention, I was in Italy last month, doing some more filming for the 1934 World Cup videos. Again, these are similar to the videos that I made back in January, which was focusing on the World Cup in 1930, the first World Cup, which took place in Uruguay. These videos, this time around, I'm in Italy and I'm discussing the second World Cup in 1934. So I'm going to try and release them at the latest in April. I'm hoping to release them earlier than that, but I really do hope you guys will enjoy them, just like I hope you all enjoyed the World Cup videos I made in Uruguay. That was a lot of fun making. It was a really good experience in Uruguay, and so was Italy. I've had a lot of fun in both of those nations, and I had fun filming and discussing the 1930 and 1934 World Cups. But this video here, this is about the World Cup qualifiers for 2026. And this one specifically is for the AFC World Cup qualifiers. Alright, so I'm going to mention where we are right now in the AFC 2026 World Cup qualifiers. We are currently in the third round. There are a total of 5 different rounds. This is the first round where nations will qualify for the World Cup in the AFC. In the third round, in this round, there are 18 nations. 18 nations will split up into 3 different groups of 6. The top 2 nations of each group will qualify for the World Cup in 2026. The nations who finish 3rd and 4th will have another chance to qualify for the World Cup. The bottom 2 nations, whoever finishes in 5th and 6th, will be eliminated and cannot qualify for the 2026 World Cup. Let's have a quick look at those groups. Starting off with Group A, as you can see, Iran, Uzbekistan, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kyrgyzstan, and North Korea are in Group A. As you can see right now, Iran are currently top of Group A. Now, as you notice, there's an X right next to Iran's name. That means that Iran cannot be eliminated from this stage and still have the possibility to automatically qualify for the World Cup in round 3. Basically, they can't drop below 4th. Now, this group's quite interesting. 4 out of the 6 nations in this group have actually qualified for a World Cup. And in one case, that's Qatar, they actually hosted the World Cup. That's the most recent one in 2022, Qatar did host. Okay, let's move to Group B now. Group B has South Korea, Iraq, Jordan, Oman, Kuwait, and Palestine. As you can see, all nations in this group can still qualify for the 2026 World Cup. and all of them could all be eliminated as well. Even South Korea, who are currently top. South Korea, they co-hosted with Japan in 2002. South Korea, also the only Asian nation to ever reach the semi-finals. The other two nations in this group that have qualified for at least one World Cup was Iraq and Kuwait. I believe the last time Kuwait was at the World Cup was, I think, in Spain, 1982. That's the last time Kuwait, and the last and only time I think Kuwait has ever qualified for the World Cup. Been a long wait. Maybe they will qualify for this one. And let's move on to Group C. Group C is spicy. As you can see, all right, Japan's just so clear of everyone else in this group. It's unbelievable, so clear of everybody else. And they also can't be eliminated from this stage. They only let in one goal as well. That's just crazy. Only one goal they've let in. All campaign, even in the second round, Japan, no team was able to score past Japan in the second round. In the third round, only Australia was able to score past them and managed to get a good point, actually, Australia. And in this group, Australia are currently second, but only a point ahead of the bottom team in this group, China. Look how close it is. The group is very interesting group. A lot of crazy things happening there too. Some controversial stuff, especially in Bahrain's game against Indonesia. A lot of added on extra time in that game, which still to me doesn't still not sit well with me, but it is what it is. Again, Indonesia are the first Asian team to ever qualify for a World Cup. That's all the way back in 1938, where France was the hosts. Indonesia were called the Dutch East Indies at that time, though. Still part of the Netherlands back then. But as I mentioned, they haven't qualified for a World Cup since then. This is one of their best chances they're going to have, if not the best chance they've had in years. Bahrain are the only team in this group that haven't qualified for a World Cup. Both Japan and Australia continuously qualified for World Cups. Japan hasn't missed a World Cup since 1998. Australia themselves, I think, since 2006, I believe, since they've moved to the AFC, they haven't missed the World Cup themselves. To mention this as well, back in group, if I mention back to Group B, South Korea have one of the longest runs, not just out of Asian nations, but in nations in general, the longest consistent run of qualifying at World Cups. They haven't missed a World Cup since 1986. But yeah, that's how the groups are looking like right now. All right, so match day 7 will be on the 20th of March. Here's the fixtures, at least in Group A. In Group A, you got Uzbekistan versus Kyrgyzstan. You have Iran taking on UAE and Qatar taking on North Korea. Now, the game between Iran and United Arab Emirates, that is probably the most important game in this group. A win for Iran would just put them, I believe they would just need another point and they would qualify. Iran could qualify for the World Cup this month. Yeah, this month. Iran could possibly qualify for the World Cup this month. But they must defeat United Arab Emirates to do so. Uzbekistan are really in a good position themselves as well to qualify for their very first World Cup. They're taking on Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan currently 5th in the group. Kyrgyzstan must get a win. If they fail to win against Uzbekistan, then they can't qualify at this stage of the World Cup. The top 2 spots will be out of sight for them. So this, for Kyrgyzstan, a must win. For North Korea, again, same as I said with Kyrgyzstan, it's a must win for them. But it's also out of their hands as well, because if Uzbekistan do end up winning their game, even if North Korea do end up defeating Qatar, they'll still lose that spot, and their only way they could qualify for the World Cup is in the fourth round. So yeah, big matches in Group A. Let's discuss Group B. Let's take a look at their fixtures. South Korea, home game against Oman. Iraq take on Kuwait, and Jordan will play Palestine. I think this is an interesting one because of where the table, how the table looks. It's definitely not a straightforward group like Group A or even C with how crazy C is, because all of these teams could be dragged into different sort of battles. I think the game between Kuwait and Iraq would probably show us where the direction of this group will go. I think that's probably the case. Again, though, I can see a lot of draws. I really do see that as well in this group. Okay, let's move on to the chaos of Group C. So we've got Australia going up against Indonesia. Japan will play Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia up against China. A win for Japan and they will qualify for the World Cup. So Japan could qualify for the World Cup as early as this Thursday coming up. Yeah, this Thursday coming up, they could qualify for a win against Bahrain would be enough for them to qualify for their 8th World Cup in a row. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Also, Australia versus Indonesia, Saudi Arabia versus China. All three of these games are big. It's how important they are. See, a lot of things should happen. I'm hoping that we're not going to see a bunch of draws. I am not. But I mean, if we do, again, that would set up the match day 8 the week after. That'd be fun as well. So we'll see. It's good, we'll see. All right, so my recap of the AFC World Cup qualifiers. Can't wait to watch some of these matches on Thursday, so it should be good. I will say this, my focus probably will be on the Japan-Bahrain game, because that is potential a match where a nation, in this case be Japan, could qualify for the World Cup. So my focus definitely be on that, as well as the game between Iran and UAE, because that would almost guarantee Iran qualifying for another World Cup themselves. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, listening, as usual, appreciate it. Happy to do these videos back. Gonna do the OFC and the CONMEBOL and of course the CAF now, and the UEFA, and UEFA Zone as well. Should be great. Thanks again, and bye.